and I probably should have spoken earlier because this pertains to low-income veterans, GA utility assistance, and health inspections and homeless people, which people talked about today. But I'm here to talk to you about 1501 First Avenue, Marion, Iowa. There's a lot of severe issues that have been reported since 2020. The list, I mean, I could probably fill 2 or 3 screens, but today I'm just gonna hit on just a couple of them, you know, to try to keep it within the time frame. That right there is a dead bat inside the main circuit breaker of the building. That bat has been there since 2017, decomposing, and I can almost guarantee when I found it in 2017, it had been there for a while. Those are the main wires that come in the building, like the big 0 gauge ones, and there's just a despicable amount of tape all over them, and that's why that building has so many electrical problems. Yet the tenants continuously get blamed for why there's electrical issues in the building. You can see on the top right-hand corner, there's exposed copper wires next to tape wires. There is no reason why a rental property should have exposed wires without at least having tape over them. That's excessive amount of tape inside the fuse box. I had to open up that fuse box in order to actually get to that. And then that right there is a circuit breaker inside of a kitchen. You have to stand on the countertop just to flip the breaker, which is dangerous because you're more than likely going to be standing in a pool of water. That right there is a hole, and in that hole above there is a leaking water pipe on top of a circuit breaker. Now that right there, this is where it gets really corrupt. That is a City of Marion inspector. So they're gonna say like, we didn't know this is going down. They know this is going down. And that circuit breaker also is wired to multiple different units. So even if you don't rent that unit out anymore, there's still other units and people living that have to use that breaker, which trips continuously if you're wondering. The City of Marion and this whole system, they cover up this stuff. Since we took those pictures and went to court, they added a deadbolt, they added a door, and they put that on there. They will go through extreme lengths to make it impossible or extremely difficult to find these violations. That's another lock they put on the circuit breaker, which by the way, trips continuously, you know, as the rest of them do, due to the wires coming in the building. They even trespassed a tenant that lives in the building. Like he went there over an eviction case and he used a defense in court of retaliation, and they trespassed him from his own circuit breaker just so that he can't take more incriminating pictures. That's an email to Linn County back from I think 2020 or 2021. That is actually a low-income veteran that sent that email. That's just one of very many emails that have been sent about this issue. There's a couple more. And then this is the man that owns it. His name is Todd Chambers. Now, if you look at his work history, he is not only the owner of this building, he was the property manager for 28 years through Chambers Property Management. So he owned and managed this building for 28 years. So there's no way he can say he didn't know. And the biggest problem is that he is the owner of Heartland Inspections, which presently right now inspects properties in the Linn County area. So the idea that this man did not know about what's going on, it's impossible. And I'd also like to talk about the man by the name of David Gregory, who lived in this building for 28 years. The landlord never changed a carpet, never cleaned a carpet, and this guy got bed bugs, and the landlord refused to fix it. And then after that, David Gregory put a note on the main door to the building that everybody sees as they come and go, saying this unit needs to be sprayed. Well, rather than spray it, the landlord, Todd Chambers, gave him a 30-day notice to move out after he'd been there for 28 years, and through the bed bugs, not being able to sleep, and all the problems, he committed suicide inside his place. You know, he blew his brains out in the closet. And, you know, I firsthand saw what he was living through and what he was dealing with. And, you know, the idea that Todd Chambers, you know, the owner of the building, the guy that presently runs a building inspection business and that ran it for 28 years, I mean, he had to know this was going down. There's no possible way that this was a mistake. This is a willful and deliberate slumlord that needs to be held accountable. Thank you for your time today, guys.